We're going to kick it over to Detroit, Michigan for my friend Shannon Cason. You may know him from various NPR appearances. He's also the Moth Grand Slam champion. Just a hell of a great guy. And he's got his own podcast called Homemade Stories, which you should totally check out. And let's go to Shannon.
Can you hear me?
5 by 5, man. How you doing?
Oh, pretty good. You can hear me, huh?
We can see you too. You look great.
All the technical.
You got a great smile, man.
Thank you. And you have a beautiful smile yourself, and that's a wonderful dress you're wearing. And Ed, you look fabulous yourself, man. You look great.
Why, thank you.
You know these the healthcare prices don't affect just yourself. It affects. I think it affects everybody, especially as an artist. As an artist, I've had my problems too, and it's always good to have like good friends who will tell you some information that you don't know. So I had a toothache, and I had some friends tell me, hey, if you go to I didn't have a dentist. I didn't have insurance for a dentist. I just had a toothache, and you just go continue to have a toothache until you. So, a friend told me UIC. Go to UIC, and they'll fix your tooth. So I wrote a story about the experience, and I'm about to tell that story. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right. I went to the dentist, not the dentist's office, but to the University of Illinois at Chicago School of Dentistry Urgent Care Clinic. This is where poor and uninsured can go and get dental care. At that time, I was both, and I had a toothache. This is where students and future dentists can practice in your mouth. So it's like a beauty or a barber college. Only it's your mouth. The way the process works, they don't take walk-ins. You have to call Monday through Friday between 8:30 and 9:30 a.m. for an appointment the following business day. I had Thursday off work, so I called Wednesday morning. If you get through, you can see a student dentist the next day. If you don't, well, endure the pain until the next time you can get through. Or there's always whiskey and pliers. I started calling at 8:25, and I called a total of 129 times. I was so excited when someone answered, I felt like I had just won concert tickets. The next day, after several hours of registration, I showed up in the waiting area to wait a couple hours. There were rows of chairs and a big hallway, and the chairs were filled with broken, uninsured college students, broken, uninsured immigrant families, broken, uninsured middle-aged adults, broken, uninsured artists, and broken, uninsured elderly people who all shared one common thread, a toothache. After a few more hours, a young man came out, called my name, Shannon Cason. I got up, walked over and shook his hand. He said, hello, Mr. Cason. My name is Mike. I doubted the formality was needed with my name if I wasn't calling him doctor, and I said, just Shannon. Mike showed me to a dentist chair in a large room full of other dental chairs and small cubicles. Many of them filled with people I just saw in the waiting area, all laying on their back with their mouths open and their butts clenched. At our chair, Mike introduced me to another smiling kid. The kid said, hello, Mr. Cason. I'm Chris. I'll be performing your extraction, and Mike here will be his assistant. I shook his hand and smiled. Thanks, just Shannon. I sat in the dentist chair as Chris and Mike studied my x-rays. I overheard them discussing how the roots of my tooth were long and twisted, and that it wasn't going to be a simple pull. They use words like mesial and distal, and how they'll need to drill and cut it into pieces to remove it. Then I tried not to listen anymore. As a writer, words are very visual to me. I can handle the drill, but I don't want to hear about the slicing, cutting, drilling, and pulling, referring to work to be done inside my mouth. I'd rather it just be done without my literal knowledge. Then Chris turned to me and said, Mr. Cason, we're going to extract your tooth because it's not salvageable. But if you look here on the x-ray, it has deep roots. And you see here the roots are twisted in a way we're going to have to slice the tooth into sections by drilling it in half and cutting away some of the bone. A man in a white coat walked into the cube and introduced himself as Dr. Parsons, finally. Chris explained to the doctor for a third time in my earshot how he was going to slice, cut, drill, and pull, and the doctor affirmed it. Slice, cut, drill, and then pull. And the doctor turned to me and asked if they had explained the procedure. I nodded vigorously. Then something happened. Chris asked Mike if he was ready. Mike seemed to get nervous and said, yeah, like he really wasn't ready for whatever it is he was going to do. My internal dialogue got into the conversation, saying, maybe Mike isn't ready, Chris. Chris ignored my thought, looked up, and called the doctor back, who had walked away to another student doctor. Mike walked to that little silver table with the unsureness and lack of confidence that made me more nervous than I already was, sitting in a dentist chair at a school for dentistry. The doctor returned, and Mike fiddled on the table. He picked up a long swab, and the doctor asked, "What's that?" Mike explained it was the topical numbing gel, and the doctor quickly dismissed it, saying, "I don't use that in my office. This is a big boy. Pat me on the back. It's just going to be a little pinch." My internal dialogue was trying to explain to the doctor that I didn't want to prove my grit in a dentist chair. I opened my mouth. It's unsettling to be in a dentist chair while my internal dialogue is cheering on some kid with a needle in my mouth. You can do it, Mike. You got this, man. And he did it, just a little pinch. For the actual procedure, here's the setup. Chris with the drill and knife, Mike with the water pick and suction cup, and the doctor bouncing in and out of the cubicle to check on other students, and me with my mouth open and my ass clenched. They got started. Chris was slicing, drilling, cutting, and pulling. Mike was squirting and sucking. That doesn't sound right, but Mike still seemed nervous. At one point, he put the suction tube too far down on the top of my tongue, and it caused me to gag. I apologized. He apologized, and I said, "Gah, gah, gah." He removed the tubes, and I repeated, "Now I know how my girlfriend feels." He got the biggest laugh from that, and it loosened him up so. Then Chris was having trouble with the pulling part. Dr. Parsons came over to give it a try. No go. The doctor instructed Chris to slice, drill, and cut a little more. Chris did it, and it still wouldn't give. The doctor tried it again. My tooth root was twisted in some Japanese origami brain tease puzzle that Chris and the doctor couldn't figure out. Then Mike woke up from the squirting and sucking and said, "Maybe if you pull it that way." Eureka, it came out. It took him a long time to get that tooth out. I spent most of the day at the USC School of Dentistry. When I was walking out and all the cubicles were empty and all the student doctors were gathering their coats to leave, the waiting area was just rows of empty chairs. I waited on the pink line platform for the train, and I saw Mike coming up the steps to wait also. I said, "Thanks, Mike." He said, "Shannon, you were a great patient." I asked him if it was his first time, giving the needle. He said no, he had done it a bunch of times before on the dummies, but it was his first time with the real human head. I told him, no, next time will be your first time, but you did a really great job on your last dummy. Thank you so much. That's my story of going to the dentist at UIC School of Dentistry. They did a great job too, by the way. They did a great job. I hope you're not going to a school of treatment for what you're going through. You know, I hope you're going through some real some real great doctors. I know you are, man. You looking good. You looking good. That's all I have. Y'all can come back in.
All right.
Speak to me. Talk to me. Don't leave me alone here.
Awesome. No, we're listening, man. I love that story, and oh my God, it's you trying to talk with the yeah.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, we met like shortly before you found out about your the diagnosis, and I remember like it was just a few months ahead of time, man. And it shook me, you know. So I'm just happy to see you smile, happy to see you on WGN doing well, man. You was funny on there. They should have you back. I love WGN. They hilarious. You did a good job. You held your own.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I'd go back in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I love those guys, and you know, I take life just about as seriously as they do. So, you know, this is pretty obvious.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you. I'm here for anything you need.
Yeah, no, thank you for joining us here and sharing the story. And I appreciate it.
All right, I'm gonna mute myself. I'll let you guys take it from there. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Shannon. And Shannon's podcast is Homemade Stories. So check it out. You can get it on iTunes or whatever. More stories like that from his past, and just the musings of this really hilarious guy. Cool. So it's weird. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, at least that was a great story you could listen to. Hopefully you can see us now, and you can appreciate how well dressed we are. I mean, look at this tux. I hope people can see this. I'm trying to see if people are commenting to tell us if they can see this. This is a brand new suit.
Yeah, I bought it just for this, with but not with donated funds. Purely, I sold all the pharmaceuticals I wasn't using because I figured like I don't need them.
You don't need them.
And what they tell you should take them long after.
Oh yeah.
Right? You're like, okay, I gave you a bottle of Vicodin, but the tooth doesn't hurt. What am I going to do with that?
Yeah, what am I going to do with that?
No, it's not just sitting on a shelf. I might as well make some money on eBay off of it.
Oh man.
It just seems like it's
there no cops shooting?
That's a joke.
It's not real.
That's a joke.
It was just a bit. Let's not get too serious about it.
God, I know. Yeah. So yeah, thanks again, Shannon. And that's just the start to the day. So we have a lot of cool things coming up. We've got some awesome instructionals. We've got comic artist Gene Ha is going to be by.
Great.
Yes, drawing your caricatures. So when you donate, then join the chat here in the Hangouts. The link is below. Mm-hmm. And for donations, he will draw pretty much, I guess, whatever you want.
Anything. It's pretty talented.
But
whatever you want.
Yeah, no like photo rendered Batman requests. Let's be reasonable.
Let's let him have some creative control over his work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plus, the show's over at 6, so.
Yeah, he doesn't have all day.
No.
He only has until 6.
Comics to make. Come on.
Yeah, and he's got cocktails to drink.
He's got cocktails.
After 6.
After 6. Oh God. Yeah.
Just waiting.
So we've I'm also excited about Star Wars trivia. Which
will be fun because I know nothing. I've actually been in Star Wars shows and I don't even know anything about. So I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to learn and maybe look like a bit of a fool.
Yeah, well, it can only help your performance, I think.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite thing is when you go to a show and you're like, tell me why this line is funny. I don't understand the bit. So that's on I should have watched.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen it, but long ago.
Well, I just didn't want to keep criticizing, like, when you have like a Boba Fett bustier, and the markings are on the wrong side.
Oh, I know you're very specific about your Star Wars I remember when I posed for Grotesque Burlesque as Leia, and they were like, well, good thing Ed's not here, because he'd